game to watch. Joe Nathan came in and pitched 2 innings.
Yeah.
Because Texas wanted that
He
win
did that
so
at
bad.
least once here in his 12 years.
They decided they wanted to win last night, didn't
Yes,
they? But it was fun to see
They
him.
lost 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Well, he got out of it. Mauer hit that ball to left field pretty good off him, but they were playing him out there, and yeah, he's throwing hard again. He's got his fastball back, and he didn't have his fastball the last 2 years he was here. He was throwing 91, 92. So this surgery was probably a couple of years in the making.
Yeah, you're right.
But I wouldn't have paid him.
What are they paying him?
Yeah, they gave him a nice deal. It's 3 years, I think. Nice.
Yeah,
they
he
gave
got
him
a
a
good
nice.
30 million or?
I don't know if it was that much, but they gave him a nice deal. But I wouldn't have paid him to have a big shot closer on this team.
On this team,
who cares?
I think he got 2 years and an option. That's what I think he got.
But the point being, what do you need a closer for the Twins right now for? You know.
Huh?
I'm not going to spend that kind of money on him. I got too many other needs.
That's right. And if
The
you get
dumbest thing they did, I'll say it again, they gave Jason Marquis $3 million. They gave Matt Capps $4.75 million. That was $7.75 million. They could have put another $3 million on the pot and got a starting pitcher instead of wasting $8 million on 2 guys they didn't need.
11 different starting pitchers this year, and we're July 9th.
Well, how about that pitcher? What's his name? They released, went to San Diego.
Marquis.
He's pitching great right now.
Yeah. Hey, did you want to watch him anymore?
Woo.
National League might have something to National League and a ballpark even bigger than Target Field might have had something to do with that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's the All-Star break, and Joe Mauer's going to the All-Star game. He looks like Joe Mauer again.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's even hit a couple home runs, and he looks good behind the plate, and he looks like the old Joe Mauer. And they're talking about him maybe winning the batting title again.
Well, he's got that kind of swing.
Best thing ever happened to him was Tommy leaving.
This is my question. Do you think he's benefited a lot from that?
Yeah, they got the DH opened up for him. He can play there. He can play first base. It's funny. People are saying, wow, he's got his, he's still getting bashed by a lot of people because of last season.
Yeah.
And he's got his bashers. But last year they were all whining, well, why doesn't he DH and play first base so he doesn't take such wear and tear? Well, that's what he's doing. And, the smartest thing they did is not have him catch Liriano every 5 days and have to take 16 sliders in the throat. Let Drew Butera take the beating. What the hell?
Would you trade Francisco Liriano today with the Red Sox?
Yes.
Don't you think the longer you wait, the more...
He would never make a start for me after the All-Star break. I would trade him during the All-Star break.
If you get something for him, yeah.
Well, they'll get something for him.
But you've kind of been on this new thing.
I wouldn't give him up for 2 prospects. I would try and sign him.
Sign him?
Rather than give him up for 2 prospects.
Only if he agreed
They
to
got
have
nobody. I mean, he's the best pitcher they got.
Yeah, so have you watched him the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Are you going to base it on 6 games? And by the way, he had 5 good starts. The last 2 have been a little shaky.
Right. I mean, the numbers end up okay.
Yeah. But the last 2, he's starting to look a little like Francisco the Bad instead of Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, he's like one
at
at bat away from getting blown out, and he's gotten the out this time.
I'd trade him in it. There's no way you can. Well, I suppose you could offer him $12.5 million at the end of the year on the 1-year deal, and then get 2 draft choices for him if somebody signs him.
Yeah.
But the bad thing is he might take the $12.5 million, then he'd be out of luck.
Take a break. Come back. You're watching the Sports Show. There it is, Carousel Audi. Stop on by. We liked our Q7 so well, went out and bought another SUV. Bruce Bonine and the whole group will welcome you and take you on a test drive and check out the A7 if you like a car.
Pretty good looking car.
Yeah, those are pretty nice vehicles. Hey, what A.J. Przinsky didn't get into the All-Star game before we move on to basketball. He was not happy with Ron Washington. But I got to say, the life of A.J. Przinsky has been pretty fascinating because he's just kept playing at a pretty high level.
Well, he played well for here.
Yeah.
Played well for the Giants. And the White Sox, they're amazing. That Yonkis, is that how you pronounce it?
Euclid?
Huh?
Euclid?
Euclid?
You were close again.
This bad.
333.
Yeah.
This horrible division. The White Sox are pretty good. Cleveland's playing well. And Detroit's finally come to life here. Detroit, you know what the big key for Detroit's been? They got this Quentin Berry kid. He can play left field, so they never have to have Delman play left field anymore.
That's right.
They just have him playing his best position, DH.
And that shores up part of the defensive.
Yeah. Well, they still got I'll tell you what. You give me Miguel Cabrera and I'll play him at third base, and he doesn't even have to take a glove with him.
That deal the other day where the Twins got him beat, and they get to the ninth inning, and Cabrera just grounds one up the middle, and Fielder hits one into orbit.
He's a good hitter.
They got some hitters.
They do.
And they're going to get that Martinez. Martinez.
Yeah, what's is there a
Martinez
date back for him?
That'll be interesting, though, what they do, because he's a DH, and they've been DHing Delman, who's hit home runs 3 straight days, although I saw the home run he hit yesterday. Might have been the hanger of all time. So, you know, if Delman comes back, I mean, if Martinez comes back, I don't know what they'll do with Delman, because he's a DH.
Brandon Roy. So far, that's been their free agent sign.
I can't figure that one out.
Well, isn't that kind of low risk, though?
Second year is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
First year is guaranteed.
I said, well, second year is not guaranteed.
No, I know, but here's a guy, a cripple.
Yeah, well, Sid, there's this cell rejuvenation thing going on over in Europe that we don't have here. Kobe had it. About 3 guys have had it. He just had it, and it's that's going to be the next big thing they start investigating, this medical treatment they're receiving. But here's the way I look at Roy. He doesn't have to start, but if I can have him on the floor for the last 10 minutes when I have a 4-point lead, and I got him as my shooting guard, and Love and Pekovic and Rubio, I can finish a game.
He's a
Roy
shot
will make
maker.
some shots. He's a
Oh boy, he was good when he was. You know.
Well, that was one of the most stupid deals they ever made.
It really was, wasn't it?
They traded Randy Foyer for him. Casey.
Glenn wanted the $1 million bucks.
Yep.
Casey had seen him play a lot. Casey was a coach then, and he had seen him play a lot. And I talked to Casey a couple of days later. He says, "That killed me."
Yeah.
He says, "This guy's going to walk right in and be a superstar."
Well, he was the rookie of the year the first year, and he was an all-star the next 3. And when you're an NBA all-star, you're an actual all-star, because they only take 12 guys from each league.
Yeah, and I mean, you watch him some nights, and he could score 10 points quicker than anybody in the league.
I got to ask you.
Casey predicted just that, too. Yeah. And Casey was really upset about that.
Adelman must hate Derek Williams. So.
He must just, you know what, the other part of it, Patrick.
They're offering him to everybody.
Yeah, the other part of that is that somebody was explaining to me. I was talking to Michael Thompson the other night. He said if they want to get better, he really is the only tradable commodity you have, because, you know, Wesley Johnson and Ellington and these guys aren't going to get you anything. Williams is, if you really want to trade somebody, he's the only guy you got that's got any value.
You're going to trade you're going to trade him to Philly, and then Iguodala is going to go to Portland, and you're going to get Nicholas Batum?
Yeah.
Why don't I take Iguodala for Derek Williams?
You got me.
He's on the Olympic team. He's a scorer. Why don't they take him?
They got no chance to get that guy. Portland will meet the...
Well, they do if they make a 3-way trade, or if they make a sign-in trade.
Well, he must be a pretty good player, huh?
Batum?
Yeah, the guy from Portland.
I'd rather have Andre Iguodala, I'll tell you that. I wouldn't give up Derek Williams to Philadelphia just so I could get Nicholas Batum from Portland. That's the rumored 3-way trade. So
I don't know. This is a crazy kind of off-season for them, because they don't have that many chips that they can deal with.
They got to do something right now with that while doing something. Just like I said.
Let me tell you something, big guy. But, you know, if the NHL is locked out and Rubio comes back healthy, that groundswell will come back.
Yeah, because the one thing they got going for them until Parisi and Sutter signed, they had the 2 most popular athletes in Minnesota, Rubio and Love.
Yeah, and you get a little Olympic... You need an Olympics team there, and like I said, if there's a lockout in the NHL, you know, take a break, come back, finish up.
Hard to believe the bill.
There it is, happy hour, 4 to 7 p.m. every day, 2 for 1, Bar Abilene. Wayne Kostrowski and the crew will take care of you. $2 off of food, 2 for 1. Oh, boy, what a pleasant place to be this time of year. For more information, visit barabilene.com or find them on Facebook. But what a perfect place to have a summer lunch.
One of those looks good on a hot summer day, doesn't it?
Yeah,
even
sure
for a guy who doesn't drink, that looks pretty good.
Yes. I had a chance to talk to Adrian Peterson last night for quite a while. And he says there's 2 sides to this. I think he's very disappointed more. You know, this isn't going to go far legally because it's $1,000 bail tells the story. But his image, and he's the only Viking that has national endorsements. You know, so he has more to lose than anybody. But he seems to think there's another side to this story. And that's all. I think he's going to come up with a statement here soon.
Well, he's the last guy you think would get involved in something like that. And I just, knowing him pretty well, I just think maybe the cop was looking for something too. He's a football player, and all of a sudden they got 3 cops handling him.
Yeah, it's a big megaplex scary, I guess. And everybody says, and Adrian thinks this too, that somebody has videotape of it.
Well, the club owner, TMZ, which is the gossip kings of the world, are saying that the club people are saying Adrian was definitely overserved, and alcohol can change a fellow's attitude about life. But I think it was very important for the Vikings to get this arrest, because this dead period before training camp is you need a couple of arrests if you want to maintain your status as the most arrested team in the NFL since 2000. There's a website now that keeps track of all NFL arrests, and the Vikings, with the DWI by the new tight end, or the fullback.
Oh gosh!
And then the guy who got released, he counts though, because he was a Viking. We've taken first place again as the most arrested team in the NFL since 2000, and you know it's a dynasty, and we'd hate to lose it.
You throw in Chris Cook, and a couple of these guys, what the mistake they made, you know, in our newsroom they'd say, hey, so-and-so got arrested from the Vikings, and I didn't even know the name, you know, but they're on the Vikings, you know.
It might be the most publicized team. Some of these other cities, I don't think they go as deep as they go here. Here, every time a Viking...
I was told that when Denny Green was here, he had a great network, so that it never got... that they were able to curb things before they ever became public.
He had a cop as a detective.
That's what I'm talking about.
Security guy who had a real good in with the cops.
So that should make you feel better, fans. These teams are actually getting arrested more than we find out. That makes me feel better about the NFL.
I think there was something there, that he had a great system, so that because if you look at when Denny Green was here, it was the least amount. You know,
like I say, he had this guy who was a security guy, and he had a good connection with the cops, and they would call him and wouldn't arrest some of those guys.
Never topped the late '80s when they had 13 DWIs in 18 months.
Remember that?
That was the world record. I even published a map in the St. Paul paper of where all the DWIs were. So
there was an incredible people there. Remember that?
Advising people to stay away from that area.
Well, you said it best with Harvard. At least we were at a point that we needed some Viking controversy. We just hadn't had it for a while. There was no buzz, no nothing.
How about Adam Schefter getting himself on the crawl? Harvard will be in camp. Yeah, he told us that.
Thanks, Adam. See you next week, everybody.